So, are you making the absolute biggest mistake tourists make when visiting Istanbul's aquariums? Let me ask you this. Are you treating a massive, carefully curated 1.2-kilometer walking route like a spontaneous, quick detour while you're out shopping? Because honestly, if you think the Istanbul Aquarium is just a simple room of fish tucked away inside a mall, you are setting yourself up to miss out on something truly incredible. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're building the ultimate explorer's blueprint for the Istanbul Aquarium, or as it's officially known, Istanbul Aquarium over in Florida. I am super excited to guide you through this today. We're going to uncover the sheer scale of the place, the hidden scientific backbone that keeps it running, and of course, the exact logistics you need to master your trip. By the end of this, you won't just be wandering around like a tourist, you'll be navigating the space like a true explorer. Okay, let's dive into this. Our blueprint today breaks this massive complex down into 5 quick stages: a world under one roof, journey through the seas, conservation and care, thrills and activities, and finally, planning your perfect visit. Starting with Section 1, a world under one roof. Before you even step through the doors, we really need to wrap our heads around the true magnitude of what's sitting right there on the Marmara coast. 7 million. Yep, you heard that right. That is the staggering number of liters of water held within these 64 tanks of this facility. To put that into perspective, that's roughly the volume of 3 Olympic swimming pools. And it's not just water. This setup is built to house more than 17,000 sea and land creatures from 1,500 different species. You're not just looking at a few glass display tanks here, you are literally stepping into a 22,000 square meter living ecosystem. And this brings us to a really crucial insight from local experts, like the team over at Istanbul. They hit the nail on the head. The biggest mistake you can make is treating the aquarium like a mall attraction. It demands a totally different intentional pace. It is not a brief shopping detour, it's a massive edutainment complex. It's a place where science, cultural memory, and marine biology all intersect. Moving on to Section 2, Journey Through the Seas. This is all about geographic storytelling, taking us all the way from the Black Sea to the Pacific. Let's move to how this builds, because what makes this place so uniquely special is its conceptual structure. It doesn't just group fish randomly by species. Your 1.2-kilometer walking route is actually a sequential journey across the globe. Notice how you start right in Turkey's backyard with the Black Sea. Then, as you walk, you physically transition down into the Dardanelles, which is beautifully contextualized with the mythological history of Troy. From there, the tanks open way up into the massive Pacific Ocean zone, before a radical shift drops you right into the middle of the Amazon rainforest. I mean, this sensory contrast is literally wild. One minute, you are entirely surrounded by the cool, deep blue vastness of the Pacific Ocean, staring into a huge 4,000 cubic meter tank filled with sharks and rays. But then, just a short walk later, you don't just look at a jungle, you actually step into a 1,000 square meter, warm, misty, tropical zone. You go from deep-sea predators to the sounds of the rainforest, poisonous frogs, and even capybaras, all in a matter of minutes. Which brings us to Section 3, Conservation and Care. Because, honestly, protecting our seas begins with knowing them. Now, this facility isn't just for show. It operates with the strict rigor of a scientific facility. Take their water infrastructure, for example. The aquarium sits right on the Marmara Sea, but because of heavy metal pollution in those waters, they don't just pump water directly from it. Instead, check out that staggering 90% retention rate. They manage their water through an incredibly advanced in-house closed-loop system, engineering the chemical parameters separately for every single ecosystem. That is an absolutely massive operational commitment to animal welfare. And this brilliantly illustrates their wider environmental commitment. They act as an officially licensed rescue and rehab center for injured Caretta sea turtles. Plus, they actively breed endangered species, like spotted cat sharks and poison dart frogs, contributing to global survival knowledge. They're a certified member of WAZA and EAZA, and get this, they're home to Turkey's first Gentoo penguins. They even bred a chick back in 2020. And to keep this entire massive ecosystem thriving, they prepare over 25 tons of scientifically tailored diets every single year. I mean, can you even imagine that grocery bill? All right. Let's get into Section 4, Thrills and Activities. Time for some heart-pumping, immersive underwater experiences. If you're someone who wants to do a little more than just observe, you've got some incredible options. Feeling adventurous? Well, if you're over 14, you can actually book a dive with sharks right inside that massive main tank. No way, right? But if you prefer to stay dry, just time your walk to catch the live feeding of the sand tiger sharks in the Western Atlantic zone. And for a totally different kind of thrill, Try navigating through the deceptive reflections in Europe's largest interactive mirror maze. Or hop into the Fly Ride helicopter simulator for a crazy 5D wind and rain experience flying over Turkey. Finally, Section 5, planning your perfect visit. Let's iron out the logistics for a flawless, stress-free day. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how transit can literally make or break your day on the Florida coast. Please do not try to guess your way through Istanbul's west side traffic. The absolute undisputed king of transport here is the Marmaray train. Just take it straight to the Turkiye Aquarium station. It's incredibly predictable and gives you a clear, easy walk right to the entrance. While buses and minibuses are fine as backups, they require a lot of crowd tolerance and will honestly just drain your energy before you even see a single fish. Timing is your next secret weapon. The doors open at 10 a.m. every day. If you've got the flexibility, weekday mornings are absolutely your golden window. It's calm, it's predictable, and it gives you that clear space you really want for those unhurried photos in the underwater tunnels. Weekends, though, the crowd flow swells dramatically, especially right after lunchtime. So if a weekend is your only option, do yourself a favor and be standing at those doors right at 10 a.m. sharp. So, the crucial point here is how you wrap up your day. Don't let your visit end abruptly with a frantic, crowded rush back to your hotel. Instead, plan for what we like to call the Aquafloria reset. When you exit, grab a coffee and just take a quiet 20-minute walk along that beautiful, serene Marmara Sea coastal path. The fresh sea air is literally the perfect decompression after hours of sensory-rich exploration. It turns a potentially tiring attraction visit into a deeply relaxing, satisfying half-day trip. And that just about wraps up our blueprint. We've covered the sheer scale of the place, the geographic journey you'll take, and the intense scientific care going on behind the scenes. But I want to leave you with this final thought. If protecting our seas truly begins with knowing them, which of the 1,500 species waiting inside those 64 tanks will be the one to inspire your personal conservation journey? So start planning your route, hop on that Marmaray train, and go find out for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy exploring!